Alright, so if you follow F1 or not gonna leave you out. I'm pretty sure you've heard about Netflix's Drive to Survive series. And a lot of my friends, family, people I knew for years never really knew what F1 is. I mean, yes, people knew about Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, the great names in the sport. But nobody really cared about the sport up until 2018. Why so? I mean, people didn't even know drivers like Max Verstappen for that matter, who's the latest world champion, Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly. People knew about teams like Red Bull, Mercedes, and of course most prominent Ferrari, but nobody would follow the sport religiously. But since the release of this Netflix original documentary, things have drastically changed for the sport, especially in America. Let's talk about it. While F1 has been held in America for quite some time now, and the most prominent race being held in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of Americas, or as we call it, COTA. But since the release of Drive to Survive, the ticket sales have gone up, and not just by a little bit. Ticket sales in 2021 went up by 15%. COTA had 400,000 people attending the event across the weekend in 2021. So what I'm trying to say is Drive to Survive brought a different perspective to the sport. Previously, F1 was seen in a very, very different light. And F1 is an expensive sport. So unless you're an F1 fanatic or you're extremely rich, people are not gonna spend that much money to go and attend an event where, according to people at that time, it's just cars going around in circles. But all of a sudden, people have a different perspective towards the sport. And a big reason is Drive to Survive. So just think about it. Previously, you would not see any chatter around social media. Nobody would really tweet about a race coming up or drama that happened during the race, off track. Nothing was talked about online, right? But all of a sudden, people have started to realize that these drivers, these teams are different personalities. They have different backgrounds, they have different struggles. And that perspective was brought on by Drive to Survive. It has given viewers the opportunity to go beyond the track and not just see the drivers driving a car in a circuit and trying to chase each other. The format in which Drive to Survive is shot across the season and then released after the whole season is done, so the drivers can come in, give their interviews, reflect back on the time when they were actually living those moments under pressure, under severe drama, technical regulations, this, that. People never really knew about this. A chunk of people didn't even know the technical sides of things, like the aerodynamics, the driver swaps, the budget caps, the rivalries, the off-track drama, the on-track drama, the history that some drivers share, some teams share, the team principals for that matter became heroes all of a sudden.
Action.
And all thanks to Drive to Survive. Everybody wants to know that which country will be on the calendar next season. Especially here in America, people love the series, people love drama. I know Drive to Survive has been criticized by a lot of drivers in F1 and a lot of people in F1 in general that it's been overly dramatized. But, there's always a but. There is a reason behind this. If a documentary is just showing plain old stuff that's just going on, nobody's gonna watch it. That creation of suspense, that creation of drama, and that creation of producers trying to keep the viewers engaged in the series is what has kept the series and the sport alive at this point. I'm not saying Formula One would have died without Drive to Survive. But this sudden boom is all thanks to Drive to Survive. And that brings me to my last point. F1 is about cars. People love cars. And F1 is not just about cars, it's also about fast cars. Fastest cars that are raced out there. Formula One is about high speed, it's about adrenaline. If a driver makes a mistake during a race weekend, he's done for. So everything is at stake. And so that is one of the biggest reasons why we have two races in America this season. One which is always existed since 2012, the one at Austin, and then the another one which we just had at Miami, and now next year Las Vegas is also added to the calendar. And so FIA has very carefully selected the party cities, right? And so F1 is going to each of these cities, F1 is going to each of these major cities, one in the west, one in the east, one in the south. And so F1 has made a very, very good potential move to step into the American market and explore the boundaries. It's everything that surrounds one single race of 50, 60, 70 laps depending upon the track. People only care about the race on Sunday, but it's the build up to the race that people are really into, and all thanks to Netflix. I know I'm probably giving Netflix too much praise, but it's well deserved. The stats speak for themselves, and if you started following Formula One after watching the series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, it was great talking to you guys. I am going to see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care. And no, I've not forgotten about the bloopers. Here they are. People didn't even know the rivalries. What? Okay. But after